Counting out loud.
I don't like it. Why are your silence though?
Counting out loud.
Alright, good. Fuckity. Bullshit and suck my ass, sucker, and dickwad. Alright, we're good.
All right.
So, welcome to the BearThoughts podcast. We usually do every Friday at 5 o'clock Twitch media time here in the channel, and you're here live in the chat. We'll see you. I can hear myself, so we're good in the audio. I get a double of Corvos, fuckity fuck. Okay, so thank you for going here. If anybody is here, let's sign up in the chat. Let me know. Can you turn on the speakers a little bit or something? Because I'm getting a lot of feedback right now.
That's weird.
A lot of feedback.
Nothing has changed from the last time we done it.
I have no idea. Hey, Anime, welcome to the channel. Okay, so little update for you. If you were there for my birthday stream, you might have noticed I got me a nice little gift. Actually, not the right way. Nice little gift from Lord Pestilence.
Yes.
And I will be filling this thing up, and I'm going to be if my wife allows me, going to be getting me a little small 4-rack server thingy, which won't be like, you know, in 0 RAID or 1 RAID. It's just mostly just a rack to hold on my hard drives that I have the 2 ones I have spare. Now this one, this and the other one. It won't be filled up, but now I can actually start saving stuff on my own little hard drives, which will be nice. Hey, hello there, Jade. I see you in the chat. Anime again. So your dogs are really going at it. Yeah. She's almost on her off her period, but she's wearing diapers, and my dog is ripping the diaper off of her because she's on her time. But yeah, this has been literally a little bit of a. If you see them back there, just try to ignore them. But it's kind of hard to constantly watch them while I'm streaming. But if you see them, yeah, if you see them trying to get their Emperor's New Groove on, just ignore them.
Oh boy.
I don't know how to just very much just tell them to stop, right? It's not one of those things I just go, all right, stop, and they just listen to me immediately. I'm still working on that. Anyways, all right, so that's my little update got it going on. Working on my 3D prints. Let everybody know I will be going straight from this to my Twitch channel. For those who are interested in my Twitch channel, so I'm going straight from here to Twitch channel because I'm moving my schedule to like 6 o'clock from now on and see how that hour frame works. Since my wife's been working in her new job. Okay, little joke real quick, a little funny thing. My wife, she gets to swab people's back of their throats now because she works at a healthcare place and she's a medical assistant. She told me yesterday she was swabbing a guy's back of his throat, and he started choking. And she couldn't help but think in the back of her mind, now you know how women feel. She's like, yeah, choke on it. I'm like, honey, come on. You can't be doing that. I'm like, if I would have been there, I'd be like, yeah, you like that, don't you, bitch? I mean, what? I would have been having a little fun with it. Now, imagine it 2 times bigger, or maybe 3 times if you're, you know, whatever. But,
listen, I've seen those swabs. If your ass is only 2 times bigger, you still got problems.
Yeah. So I thought that was a little humorous. We went out yesterday and we had a little makeup because my birthday, other than the stream, my birthday was utterly terrible. Like nothing went right other than my stream. That was the only thing that went good, and I'm so thankful that was all I had. But she's like, we're gonna make up for it. And yesterday we just went out and we had a good old time. A lot of laughs, a lot of joking around. She's so much happier in her new job, and I'm so happy that she is, you know, like Stealthy when she had her new job. You know, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm thinking it. You know what I'm thinking. So yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into the first topic. We're getting a little later on, and I want to do this because let me give you a lowdown why my thought had come about this. Now I'll form the question afterwards because you already know the question. The chat, the audience does not know the question. and people were, World of Warcraft, right? I'm sure you've been knowing that game for years.
I played WoW a lot.
And people are saying the newest expansion is really good. They're loving the new expansion. They're saying this game is feeling nice and fresh and like kind of not really to the same bar of like the classic World of Warcraft, but it plays really good. But it's not making nearly as much money as say some of the other ones, or or as much money they thought it would make. And my thought is, and this is my question, does a game sell another total amount equate to the game's being good? As meaning, like, as many people bought it and paid it. You say no, okay? But, many people have bought it and played it and paid for it. Does that make it a good thing, like the old classic World of Warcraft with like 12
out? I'm streaming.
Like 12 million people were playing.
Out. I'm telling you, out. Dog.
Woo, boy! You about to find a belt real quick, and it'll be on stream. I gotta pause this. I might black at his side, but I'm not gonna mute it. Well, you probably mute it.
Anyway. To answer your question, no, I don't believe that's. I've seen plenty of damn games that were uber popular and, in my opinion, were shit.
Okay, so it's like let's say for an argument, it's like one game gets $12 billion within the first year of the game, but another game gets only $5 billion in the game. It's a lot of players. Now, the $12 million game lasts for like 3 to 4 years. But the $5 billion lasts for 10 years. Does it make it better because it lasts longer, even though it made less money, and the other one did not?
I don't think money or time frame makes a game better.
Okay, so
I think what makes a game better is honestly an asinine question. Because this is why. Your definition of what you think is a good game is going to differ from mine. It's going to differ from hers. It's going to differ from Rollover. It's going to differ from everybody's.
Yes.
What makes a game good is subject to the person playing the game. It has absolutely nothing to do with money earned. It has nothing to do with how long it lasts. It purely comes from how much did you enjoy the game?
Okay,
did you like the game? Is the game good to you? It's subjective. So that's where I have fault when people come out and say, well, this game was game of the year. It was the greatest game. And I look at it and go, I didn't like it that much. Okay. Now, that's not to say there's not billions of people on this globe that are like, oh, it's great. And they're reserved to have their opinion. But I don't think you can realistically quantify what is a good game based on money earned or length of life. I just don't believe it. It basically boils down to your personal opinion. It's like, I know for a fact there's games that I think are great that other people think are dog shit, but I don't care. They
always say, people vote with their money, vote with your wallet, right? If something's good, you should vote with your wallet. But does that always mean it's a good?
You can't really go by that now, because nowadays you got people that'll buy shit just because their friend bought it. They may hate the game, but their friend loves it, so they bought it.
Yeah.
So again, that's just another way to prove to you that just because one game made 12 billion and another game made 5, how do you know that out of that 12, 8 wasn't somebody's friends that are just like, he plays it, he likes it, let me play it a little bit with him.
It's so many games nowadays are online. Not all of them, but a lot of them are. To me, is how many people are still playing the game? How many people are still active in the game? How many people are still going back to the game and playing it? Some people would say, well, classic World of Warcraft is better, right? And then some might say, newer World of Warcraft is better. Well, what people are playing? What people are playing the most? What people have the most fun playing? If they're going back to World of Warcraft Classic, why not beat that one?
But what I said earlier can very much skew those results as well.
Friends.
If you've got friends playing just because other friends love it, then can you truly go by the number of people playing the game? You can't.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's subjective. It'll always be subjective. It's like people saying, "What's your favorite food?" and people saying tacos. Well, that's subjective because the people 3 doors down may think burgers is the greatest thing in the world. You know, when it comes to deciding what is the best thing, what in this market is best in this type of thing, like cars, trucks, any material items or consumable items, it's all subjective.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And this is pretty anecdotal. But I've seen a lot of YouTube videos as well.
That's actually good word use. I am proud of you, bro. Shit.
But I've seen YouTube videos where people like going, look how much money the game made. It has to be good. I'm like,
no, it doesn't.
Does it really have why are you equating the money revenue with the overall goodness of the game? I don't really find any reason to try to engage with that if I haven't put my hand on it and tried it myself and say it's a good game.
Exactly.
So, and of
then
course,
it becomes subjective. Then it could become subjective from your viewpoint. Did I like this? Was the graphics appealing to me? Did I enjoy the story? Did I enjoy what I had to do? Was it intuitive? Was it not intuitive? It all comes down to your intuition, how you feel about it.
Yeah. And just I've been saying about the masses, I feel like people are too many. Like they immediately go, "How much money this made? Oh man, that must be a good game. I gotta play it. I gotta try it." I'm like,
I agree with that. I mean, there's plenty. Like I said, there's plenty of games that I thought were fantastic and people hated. Like, for example, Septerra's Core, one of my favorite games in the world. It was popular for maybe 7 months. Most people hated that game. They couldn't stand it. So, to me, if I was to start rating games, it would be high on my list. But for most people, it wouldn't be. And that's where the subjectivity comes from.
Yeah. And I Call of Duty was another example for me. People are saying the new Call of Duty game isn't that good, not great at all. And they'd be like, oh, because they're not making money as this game or good as much money as they were making the newer or the old Call of Duty Warzone. Sorry, dyslexia on that one. Game, and it was like, oh, because this was making less money, it's worse. And I'm like, is it really worse? Is the player base leaving the game? Okay, that can maybe understand that player base is leaving. Then the game might be not that good, but you can't immediately just go, how much money you're making. It has to be bad. If it's making that much money compared to the other one, it has to be bad. So therefore you trash it. I'm like, this might not be the game for everybody anymore. It might not be the game that everybody will enjoy or whatever. It's okay to not have to play the new hot game or be stuck into one genre of company when there's so many other battle royales out there you can go play. And it'd be just as good. Why are you worried about just this one game and how much profit it made?
I agree. And it's the same thing with any form of media like that. I mean, look at movies or TV shows or animes.
Like
or any
Marvel and DC. I mean,
for example, there's people that can't stand Record of Ragnarok. I love it. It's fantastic. I think it is anyway.
Yes.
You might not. Some people might not. And that's fine. But we have gotten to where we look so much at the bottom dollar. How much did it make? That it's getting ridiculous, man. It is terrible.
Wonder if it's almost a sell market for the developers and for the companies to be going, look at the money rather than look at the player base. It's so advertised. Like how much players?
I think it's because they can't find a true way. There isn't a true way to be like, okay, this is 100% this game is the best game. This is the proof that they go off of the one thing that they can track, which is the monetary value and how much income it made. And then those are hard numbers. They can't be refuted. And that's how they go off. That's why they use that. I'm not saying that, games don't deserve to be recognized as one being better than the other. What I'm saying is there's not a true way to determine that as of yet.
Yeah, like I remember I was playing Warcraft back in Wrath of the Lich King and prior to Wrath of the Lich King, and I remember like a lot of their sales were like, when we saw 12 million players playing the game, everybody in the chat was like that was a hype thing. And the game kept to get more and more people playing the game because they kept hearing about how many players. And that would probably be a somewhat of an indication or some kind of way of gauging whether or not the game is good, if you see how many people playing it. But the moment they stopped showing out the player base and they swapped to a metric of cash flow, that didn't give people confidence whether or not the game was good. And I don't really know if that was just a psychological thing or not.
I can see that. I see your point. I do. I just, when it comes to making those decisions, I used to be very much one-sided, as in what I thought was the greatest had to be the greatest.
Yeah.
But as I've gotten a little older, I've started realizing that everybody has a right to their opinion. And when it comes to what's better than this, there's no way to honestly track that. I mean, it's not like it's a material like steel or something where you can actually do like a hardness test to see which one is genuinely harder than the other, or something of that nature. It's legitimately completely subjective.
Oh, I've heard people say, "Oh, how hard a game is."
Thank you, Pasty.
Like how hard the game is, it must be good. I'm like, the point of the game is to win, right? The point of the game is to beat it. If it's really, really hard, it can't be that good.
There is a simple refute to that. Do you think everybody wants to play a difficult game?
No.
Because if you do, you've lost your damn mind. I know people that seek out games that are easy to play because it gives them a morale boost when they complete it.
Yeah.
That is something they require. That's not a bad thing. I mean, can you remember the first time you genuinely defeated a game and how you felt?
Oh, it felt wonderful.
It felt fucking fantastic. You were king of the mountain. You were on top. I like difficult games, but there's sometimes where I know I want to make myself feel good, so I'm gonna go find something that I can beat the living shit out of.
Well, yeah, I have games where I that are hard, and I make them hard, not because it's entertaining and joyful, but I also have games that I just go back and I just roll my face in the keyboard because I know I can win.
Yeah,
and that's not a money thing at all. It's just, and of course, free to play games are becoming more and more prevalent nowadays. So you really can't judge a game how much money it's making unless you solely look at the game's income through the market, whatever it has, because most of them do have a market. Not all of them, but most of them do. So can you really judge a game being good just because it gets some good sell on some cosmetic gear?
I mean, you can make a game sell even if it's a piece of trash. I mean, even if everybody on the planet dislikes it, if you offer enough nice things with the game, people are going to buy it because humans are collectors and hoarders by nature.
Yeah.
We want shit. Oh, shiny mine, please. my precious. Fucking read Tolkien, damn. I mean, we've been doing this shit since fiction was created.
Oh, little quick update about the D&D thing. One of the reasons why they said that during the whole D&D little scandal or little changing of the rules because there weren't enough NFTs. If anybody knows anything about NFTs, that's a lack of bullshit. Good timing, because we're literally I was gonna wrap the topic up.
That was perfect timing. We was about to roll right off of this topic. You got here right in time. Yes.
Pick one.
Milky Moose. All right.
Okay,
So I want to ask you before we get too deep into this, the question or the discussion piece is there a story behind it? So we can tie it all together.
Yes,
let me
there
hear
is
the
a
story
story
first. Let me hear the story.
This started as a debate between me and Rollover, which, by the way, my chat has now deemed him the Southerner. He has been moved from Rollover to the Southerner.
The Southerner. Okay, it's
this
interesting.
Got kicked off pretty fucking lively. So, or it might have been Stealthy Stream. Anyway,
yes, that was your stream.
we were down the hall. We were down the hall on my birthday.
Okay, his birthday.
Me and the Southerner, and the topic was broached. What do you? Well, he said something along the lines of some type of a fight reference, and then the topic come up. What do you consider a fight? And to his, I believe, shock by his face, there were parts of things that he considered a fight that I do not.
Okay.
And so this went on for a little while in Stealthy's stream, and of course her stream was chatting and replying because they heard it going on in the background.
It's a drinking stream.
Also check the cord.
It's probably not charged, not plugged in. But yeah. So
it's not what it was supposed to.
That's how it
There's also none in the city.
But it's close.
Okay, so
that's how the topic come up. He actually said, "Man, you ought to prop this up on the podcast. This would be her stream said that this would be a great topic for podcast."
Okay, so let me give you the Oxford definition of their definition of fighting,
which is the same thing Stealthy did.
Okay, so let's go hit that one. The action of fighting, violence, or conflicts, displaying or engaging in violence, combat, or aggression. So that's their definition of fighting.
And I understand that.
Okay.
So like I said, I was narrowing it down when I was talking to you, as in we're not talking about a verbal conflict. This is not me hollering at you. This is not like that. This is a physical altercation. What do you consider? Keep your mouth shut. I want to know what he says. A fight.
Okay, so my definition of fight is anything that causes physical harm. Grappling is not fighting if you can hold, stop, or maybe mobilize the person that is trying to cause a physical harm.
Sweet Jesus, you are probably the only other person that I've met that recognizes that.
So you kick me and I grapple your ass to the ground and keep you from any other altercation. I'm not fighting you. You're fighting me. I'm just holding you down so you can't do nothing, no more harm.
And without two aggressors, is it actually a fight?
No, because one could be an aggressor and one person could be the person that's trying to pull back and try to disengage.
Okay.
All right. So wait. We have your opinion.
Okay.
We're gonna get the Stealthy opinion.
I already heard the Oxford Dictionary.
Wait a minute. So you are telling me, telling me that the only way it is considered a fight is if both parties are engaged in trying to physically harm each other.
Yes.
Correct or incorrect?
That is my definition. Yes.
Okay. So then you have to release a ton of people from prison.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm not arguing that point at all.
But no, listen. The definition is doing physical harm to someone else. Correct or incorrect?
Yes.
And you said it includes both parties engaging in said physical harm. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Okay. So anybody that has been involved in a fight and they did not fight back and they got put into jail along with the aggressor. You have just released the aggressor out to do damage against that person, even though they're the ones that started the fight
Not
It is
I am not saying there are not flaws in what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that is
You
just what
said
I
the
believe.
Definition. That is the definition. If the definition is changed, a lot of shit happens.
And I understand that. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm just telling you that is my definition.
Now, if I would say I would put an ultimatum, if I would say engage somebody with verbal attacks, in my opinion, verbal attacks causing them to be aggressive toward me, and I were to grapple them downwards, we're both at fault. But I wouldn't say it's a one-sided fight, even though I was fighting them through my words, and some people will say, well, that's not fighting.
Right. I do not consider
engaged.
Yeah, I don't consider a verbal altercation is different than a physical fight to me. Okay. So now we've heard yours, we've heard her input. I'm gonna let this man give you his definition.
He's avoided. Notice he completely avoided. Does not want to talk about the fact that I'm right.
In your opinion.
See?
Okay, my opinion. A fight constitutes anything, any physical altercation in which the parties do damage to one another.
Damage.
However, grappling still is okay. Let's pose a question here. If you get into a fight and someone chokes you out, you didn't lose a fight?
No.
No, it stopped being a fight whenever they choked you out.
It stopped being a fight when they stopped trying to fight, when they started trying to incapacitate me to defuse the situation.
But it's still causing them harm.
Yeah, it's still like your definition.
Your definition,
so you're basically saying kickboxing and Muay Thai is the only definition of a fight.
No,
that is what you're saying.
Boxing,
kickboxing involves boxing.
No, they are considered different styles.
Okay,
it is still fighting.
Fists and feet,
and knees, and headbutts, and elbows.
So Muay Thai,
and any of that. It doesn't. Why do you have to define it as Muay Thai?
Because
you're
it's
lumping
a fighting style that involves that.
Yes, but you're lumping every fighting style into it when you do that. And no, that's not.
Sure, there is a difference in the fighting styles. I'm saying that basically, you constitute this fight as anything that's just trying to cause blunt force trauma to someone.
Yes.
Wrestling counts, then.
No.
So if someone slams your ass, that's no longer a fight.
Not once they grapple me.
The only way you can grapple within
so if
wrestling
you throw somebody,
is to do.
But you do not grapple them. That is considered part of the fight.
I'm trying to see how you can grapple somebody without causing them a brain aneurysm by choking them out. I'm trying to think of how could you grapple them.
It's called controlling pressure. And if you know how to do it, you can put them to sleep without causing any physical harm.
Also,
cutting oxygen.
You could crush the windpipe.
Right. I am working under the assumption that the people in this fight know how to fight.
Okay. So you're taking 90% of the population out of the fight.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
So we're just talking.
What if they're being subdued,
but
the other person does not give up trying to harm the other person, and in doing so causes harm to themselves, even though the other person had no intent to do harm?
Oh, well, that's a dumbass.
It is still considered a fight by your definition, though.
Because then when
someone's
being aggressive
and causing damage.
Listen, y'all could say it all you want, but my opinion is never going to change.
Okay,
grappling.
But the fact,
it's not always wrong. It is not if I don't believe that it's wrong.
It may be your opinion, but logically, it is the fact.
It's wrong.
Okay, but I'm not going off of logic. That is the problem you people are not getting.
Okay, but
this is a core belief of mine. I don't give a flying fuck whether it's logical, not logical. I don't care.
Okay, then you cannot wait. Since we're gonna go down this road. Okay, since we're going down this little road.
Yeah, you need to monitor how excited you're getting.
You're gonna go down this road, sir.
Who cares?
I do.
Yeah, there's something she has to worry about.
Right?
Yes.
Then anybody that has a belief in an opinion is right by their own definition.
Yeah. To them, yes.
So pedophiles are fine.
To them, they are fine. To me, they are not. Just like my definition of fighting is fine to me. It is not to you. I'm not saying that at a mass that everybody can believe that I'm wrong.
No, but you're saying
and I can't be held accountable. I'm not saying I can't be held accountable by the mass. I'm not saying that. That's not what I said. What I said is my belief is that grappling is not a form of fighting.
But if you have been proven wrong, which you have in multiple instances of this,
okay,
then logically, and by someone who says that they are willing to understand when they are incorrect and change their opinions.
On most things, yes, I am.
Then you are incorrect.
But not on this one.
Okay, so I'd like to form a question here.
We're not ever, if I ever hear you say that you would put a pedophile
that's not true.
Let's not bring
That's not true. You can't go that far. That is not what we're talking about. Why is it? Hold up. Why is it? Why is it that when I broach a specific topic, we always have to break out into everything else? I'm not talking about a fucking pedophile.
We're not breaking into everything.
Yes, you are. You are.
Are you done? Are you done? We're trying to prove a point to you that you're not wanting to accept.
I will accept it.
But it is applicable to your situation. You're not listening.
Okay. That doesn't mean I have to conform to what you're telling me.
No, you don't. But just so you know, that is how everybody is viewing you at this moment.
They can view it however they want to view it. Okay? They can view it however they want to view it.
I'm arguing with the wall.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Very, very big wall that just refuses to move because it's not understanding that it is completely wrong.
Stepping into this argument is like handing a
chimpanzee. It's like saying that Trump was never wrong about his wall.
Oh my god.
Okay, so let me form a question here with all this. Let's say two people are in an altercation, and we see as a society as a fight. How would you be able to move yourself out of the fight without there being a physical altercation and be one side being the right and one side being the wrong?
You can't.
You can't. So no matter what people will see, they will see nothing but two wrong. Two wrongs don't make a right. Even though one is trying to remove themselves out of the equation, they're automatically assumed to be in the wrong because the other wants to be in a physical altercation. So
right.
What other options do they have but to defend themselves? But defending yourself means to cause harm. You don't want to cause harm. So how would society be able to remove themselves from that ideology?
You're right, Pestilence. You're right.
Without having to cause someone uncomfortable or physical harm. And yet still be in the right.
There's no way you can.
You can't do that.
So that is we all know, we should all agree that is not right. Why we to society just accepts and think it's right. They're going, well, you grappled him and took him to the ground and stopped him from hurting you further than you would hurt. They would hurt you if giving free way to do so.
I don't have to defend myself.
So you just take the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's not defending yourself, though.
Exactly.
And it's not.
What I said was there's no way to defend yourself without causing physical harm.
I agree with that.
Yourself.
Okay.
And I would
don't count grappling someone defending yourself. I count that as diffusing the situation.
Someone has to be diffused. But the diffusing is also be like punching you in the face because I'm angry at you. I'm diffusing you because I don't like you. I don't like you. Diffused. Knock your ass out. It's done. It's over. Fight's over.
But my point is that everybody wants to pull everything else in the world into this. You all know how I feel on certain topics. How I feel about this does not change how I feel about that.
Mm.
I understand that you're emotional.
I don't
You are
care.
emotional about this.
Yes, I am.
You are emotional about
I'm emotional about this because this is shit that I dealt with. This is shit that I was taught. This is shit I was trained to do.
Well then, sweetie, I believe I am shit. No matter what you say, I believe I am shit.
And that's what you're going to
This
believe.
battle for you.
That's what you're going to
That doesn't
believe.
matter.
I've already realized that no matter how much I tell you that I believe you're not, that I believe that you're great, I believe you're this, you're always going to believe that. You have.
Okay, so, well, guess what? No more.
That's not possible.
Too bad, sometimes. It is possible. You're forgetting how stubborn I can be.
I wouldn't make that argument, Casey.
Okay. So you're telling me you would go back to that in front of your kids?
I can. I have.
You would do that to them?
This isn't an argument anyone's going to win.
No. What I tried to tell you. But you're hard-headed.
Well, I remember when I was in the high school and in kindergarten and preschool, I got my ass beat so many times trying to disengage from a fight. I would still be the one in the principal's office getting expelled or getting detention and not allowed to go back to school because I got my ass kicked.
Maybe the problem is y'all
was,
aren't understanding what my definition of grappling is.
Me, I was always like, that was unfair. But anytime...
That's not grappling.
That's what I see as grappling.
So choking someone out is grappling.
No. I told you that the other night.
I said submissions.
That's not a submission.
Yeah, it is.
No, the fuck, it's not a submission if you can't submit.
Yeah, you're right.
That's not a submission. No.
Yes, it is.
No.
You can for about 25 seconds.
You cannot submit if you're unconscious.
You can submit for about 5 seconds. You got 5 seconds.
My brother. This is a little small story. My brother, when I was younger, my middle brother used to beat me up a lot, and my older brother would, guess you would say, grapple or submit my middle brother from whipping my ass because I wouldn't fight. And that was the way of him fighting with my middle brother. It was because he was taller than my oldest brother, but he can pin him down and keep him from fighting anymore until he tired himself out.
Pinning someone down would be your definition of grappling.
Yes.
That's not my definition of grappling.
Okay, so then there lies the problem.
A wrestling match? No one ever gets into a wrestling match unless it's two people who have agreed to do a wrestling match.
That's my point. That's why I do not
agree.
consider it a fight.
Okay, but here's the thing. Two people don't know how to fight. They decide to try to take each other to the ground. That's all they know how to do.
Still not a fight.
It's not a fight?
No. It's wrestling.
They say most fights,
even
street fights, always get to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, someone manages to get a hold of your neck.
Okay.
That's still a fight. I'm not trying to control you. I'm trying to put you to sleep.
This is a threat. I'm going to knock your ass out if you don't quit.
I was trying to tell you that your definition is you never clarified your definition, nor did I clarify mine.
Okay.
Which is where all this shit come from.
Now we're clarifying it. Clarifying it now. I have no idea.
Ending of a horror movie. Anyways, that's a plot moment. But
all these missing some liquid courage, yeah, pestilence.
No.
Close the door.
No.
Anyway.
All right. Well, that was the topic.
If you're on the ground and somebody throws an elbow in your eye, that's not grappling. If you're on the ground and they're just holding you there to get you to stop, that's wrestling.
Yeah, that's not at all
what I consider grappling. because you are literally grappling a person.
No, I'm not talking about a headlock. I'm talking about putting someone to fucking sleep.
Is it just choking?
Or an arm bar.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's not grappling.
If it's just choking.
But it would. Most people would consider that grappling.
Okay, but that's
Because
not my
judo,
definition of it, though.
Because judo is grappling. Wrestling, aside from when you actually get someone on the mat, wouldn't be your definition of grappling.
Right.
So you're just talking about two people. Basically, someone doing this.
Yes, stop.
That's
that or wrestling, where you're just
like holding someone's body.
Right.
Like an arm bar, or maybe a leg lock, or
no,
maybe
that is still wrenching joints and trying to hurt someone. That is still a fight.
Okay. I would say to me it's just a way of tiring them out.
Okay.
Have you ever been in an arm bar? That's
Yes.
not tiring you out. That's fucking trying to rip your joints out.
Have you been in a Kimura? I don't feel like you would. I mean,
So now I feel like the whole argument we just had is ridiculous because
all over.
Nobody, I had not made myself clear.
Well,
Okay,
seemed like it was all kind of unclear.
Hello? I was talking to you.
What?
So the argument I just had with you was for nothing.
No, you haven't. Y'all still need to deal with her opinion of it.
Okay. So, giving light to now understanding maybe more about what I consider grappling, do you have anything to say?
I wasn't paying attention because at this point I was arguing with the brick wall, and no offense, I have better things to spend my time on than that.
All right, try to explain this to him like you're talking to the kids.
I already have, and he's still a brick wall.
All right,
Okay, so will you listen long enough for me to tell you what I just told him?
Sure.
Okay, my whole idea of grappling was basically holding a person still on the ground to get them to stop.
The only way you can do that is if you can overpower the other person. It's never going to happen. Unless it's an adult versus a child.
That's like
even then, fucking children can be strong as fuck.
It's like a couple wrestling.
But my point is that what?
Yeah, couple wrestling. That's not a fight.
Yeah, that's what he considers grappling.
That's what I didn't.
You can see
I didn't make myself clear, nor did you, sir.
Okay.
No, wrestling, when they wrestle, it is considered grappling. Muay Thai,
Muay Thai, kickboxing, boxing,
a lot of shit like that. It is considered grappling.
Not Muay Thai. Muay Thai. You can still grapple in Muay Thai.
But my point is
not
that
common, but you can still
my definition of grappling was not like an arm bar, trying to rip somebody's socket out on the ground, or not throwing an elbow in somebody's face trying to get them the fuck off of you on the ground. That's still a fight. My definition would be like if I was just trying to hold your ass still on the ground.
His definition of
just stop.
His definition of grappling.
That is my definition of grappling.
Lion King when Nala pins Simba.
Yes.
Pins you.
Kind of like that.
That's not.
And I don't consider that a fight.
It's considered a love grapple, but that's not.
My point is that is what I consider grappling. That is why the whole argument happened.
It's a pin. Wait for somebody to do the count. Someone do the count already in the chat. I think we need to get this wrapped. This. No, of course, no one's saying anything in the chat anyways.
That's why I was confused when you started making references to other things a while ago, because I'm like, I don't see how that's the same.
It's grappling.
No.
90% of the world's definition of grappling.
Okay.
Look up grappling.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the references to like other things that you were making.
Yeah. That
was me trying to point out what you were not doing, which was listening to any of us because you were hard-headed, brick wall, don't want to hear a goddamn thing anybody's saying.
We'll forgive. Oh, let's see.
To be fair.
Grappling hook.
Same.
That's not
I'm just trying to understand
there's
what
grappling and
So, I mean, like, if it's clear.
This man.
Yeah.
Careful.
What do you mean?
Careful. You don't want to broach that topic.
What made you believe
Yeah,
that?
don't. Leave that alone. Leave it alone.
We will talk about it maybe later.
There's that will be. You remember the other night when you were like, I'm not sure what I did? Yeah, don't. Because that would be what you did with me on that topic. Because you don't know yet. you would walk yourself into the same situation you walked in with someone else, and that because I haven't given you certain information to keep that from happening. Okay, I'm trying to help you.
All right, let's wrap this thing up.
All right.
Okay, so grappling.
That's not
by Oxford's definition. Engage in close fighting. Is their Oxford their station or struggling without weapons wrestling?
We're struggling. That is what a grapple is.
Yeah, so that's not the same.
If I hold someone down and they hurt themselves while I'm holding them down or tire themselves out, I don't really know if I'm fighting them. I'm just trying to get them to stop.
The difference that you're not understanding is grappling, yes, can not technically physically be a fight, but for the most part, usually grappling is fighting.
Okay,
it's
then
more of a nuance.
I'm going to have to find a different word to describe what I call grappling.
Holding.
To keep from...
Holding someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aggressive hugs.
Wow. See, my brother, he used to...
I liked it better when the two of you weren't talking.
Okay, so my brother, when he used to fight my older brother, he would call it fighting. He would hold my brother's arms and wrap his legs around my brother's waist and legs. And let him just struggle in his arms the entire time, just swinging around.
That's grappling, not technically fighting, but
he
grappling.
was holding his arms and wrapping himself around him and let him just, drive back on his back the entire time like a rodeo clown. And as he'd just be on the ground and just rolling around the entire time.
Motherfucker.
But anyways, I don't have a backup conversation to go with follow behind that one, honestly, because that was a steep curve going in a direction that I didn't think this podcast would go today. But guess if you come here for a fight, you found one. I love to hear your fight down in the comments down below. What's your definition of a fight? And how would you...
next week, my topic, what do you consider a verbal fight?
God. Two disagreements. That's it.
I won't be here for that one.
Okay, my answer when I'm wrong.
Two disagreements of the fight. Oh, goodness gracious, man. I was just sitting here the entire time, just like stun locked. I'm like, whoa, we're going places that I'm not ready for. It's not my place. I'm not here to judge or condemn anybody. Oh shit.
I just want to say something. You literally confused the piss out of me. I don't have to pee anymore.
Better say you confused the piss out of you.
I confused when you got a text message that was voice.
I was standing next to Ellis when I opened it.
Oh shit, that could have been bad. Anyway.
Oh goodness gracious. Okay.
I heard, hey, didn't want to. I was like, oh shit, I need to walk away.
So Ragnarok started back up on Netflix,
yes.
Right? So
yes.
Let's go ahead and jump into the anime because I can talk that one for hours. What is your thoughts on the first episode of season 2? I haven't had to watch it yet, so try not to spoil it. But give me your overall arch. Is it better than season 1 already?
It is very good. It is very, very good. I watched episode 1 and have stopped because I want to go back and watch it again with Stealthy and us watch the rest of them together.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that when it comes to what you would expect out of a character like Jack the Ripper and the way they would go about things, they did a fantastic fucking job. And Hercules is very much what you would think Hercules would be.
Historically wise, they're keeping true.
Stoic, he's strong, he's passionate about protecting, he's everything that you would think Hercules would be. And Jack is very much the cunning little asshole you would expect him to be.
Now, when I think of Hercules, I can't help but think of Hercule in the sense of, you know, the guy, the human or once human that is all about, you know, for humanity. Yes. Hercule becomes a god, right, in mythos, right? Am I wrong about that?
Yes, he does. Hercules becomes a god in mythos, yes.
So does the mythos equate to Hercules going, you know what, humans? Don't care about you no more.
No, it does not. It does not.
Okay,
it does not. Ironically, one of the things, I can't really tell you without spoiling it, but ironically, he has not lost his love for humanity.
Okay, so that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see it because my mind is going to be going, because I saw like a little clip and I don't think it was actually from the manga. There was maybe like a meme of what they thought the show was going to be at. And I was like, you know, he was like all praising, like, haha, let's kill all the humans. I'm like, that's not Hercule.
No, he's not like that at all. No. It's very conflicting to watch the match.
Yeah, because you probably like Hercule. You probably want to like Hercule, but then you like
Hercules, and I mean nobody likes a serial killer, but you have to root for the serial killer because he's the one that's, if he wins, humanity stays alive for a little longer. You know, so it's a very conflicting ass thing.
It's one of those situations where you got to do the right thing, but sometimes to do the right thing, you got to have something little wrong. It's one of those like, hey, in order for humanity to survive, we need people that can kill. Who can kill for the good? Evil people. They're really good at it.
I mean, I have to give Broomhilda credit. She had an inclination that Hercules was going to be next, and she specifically picked Jack for him.
Okay.
And when you watch it, you'll understand why. Because
I'm hoping the animation is a little bit more cleaner this season. I like the first season's animation and drawing, but I'm hoping they maybe step a little bit, kind of like, you know, just ramp it up, make it better, try to put more into it. If people are liking it, put more behind it. I don't want no like season 1 of One Punch Man to go to season 2 One Punch Man. There's a stark difference in animation, and it's just one of those things I like seeing in animation. Story be one of the things I want to be beholden to, but the animation has to be there. So what little I've seen, I've tried to keep myself from spoilers because, well, the internet's full of them. And anytime it's a good show, people want to spoil it, and I have not looked into it at all. So what do you think of what do you think they have progressed in, like, either storytelling or in, like, do you feel like a stride going on artwork?
I think they've done a good job in like they gave us some backstory on the characters in the first season, but they didn't go super in depth. They give like some serious backstory on Hercules and Jack. Like,
okay, so
granted, it's not all like what I would consider historically accurate, what we grew up, but the story is not so divergent that it's not believable either. So, and it's very detailed. The backstory is like, you understand when they get through telling you this, what this character is all about and what he is ultimately willing to do whatever the goal is he has in mind.
So if somebody were to say like a history buff and they go back and watch it and like do like a YouTube video on it, they could probably get some like a breakdown on the anime and how how much it's
Yeah,
digging
they
into the
could see.
characters.
They would be able to see what is historically accurate as far as what we know, and they would also be able to quickly point out the differences. But they did it in a way that, to me, in my opinion, bit and break it so much that that what they're telling you isn't believable.
It's like some shows going purely off either the cool factor or for the entertainment factor,
Like,
and not saying
here, I'll give you an example.
true
So,
to
like, we
something.
know Hercules started as a human and worked his way through the labors and ultimately became a god.
Yes.
All of that is there. Now, there's a few subtle differences about how some things came about, and historians would pick it out, but it's not enough that you can't get on board with the story that they're telling.
Okay.
It's the same thing with Jack, because honestly, they had very little to work on with Jack.
Yeah, well.
Let's be honest. I mean, the man never got caught.
Yeah.
So they don't even know what the fuck he looked like, what his actual motivations were, or anything. So with Jack, they had a little bit more free reign, but there were still some specific things they had to keep tied there.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. My wife has told me before, they even thought at one time Jack the River could have been a woman. They could have made him androgynous in the show, and people would have been like...
They did at one time consider it, but after doing some investigation back then, because of the way things were, like, women weren't allowed to be doctors. Women weren't allowed to do certain things. So certain parts of his skill set, if it was a woman, would have had to have learned it from a man. And chances of men back then teaching a woman anything that they didn't deem necessary for a woman is slim to none, which is what culled the woman suspect out of it.
Okay. I know the theory was like a woman couldn't be a doctor, so she started to find ways of learning how to be a little bit more of a practitioner of the science by killing people and just doing stuff on them. And that was a way of, like, I've heard it we've described. But anyways, I'm glad the show's back. I'm looking forward to it. I like Baki. I love that show. I found a lot of fun.
Baki was good to me too.
So if you like Baki, go check it out.
Another one. What the hell was it? Kragan King or some shit like that.
Sounds very familiar.
Yeah, it was a lot like Baki. It was very good too.
So this, rather than just being like a martial art,
some shit,
rather being martial arts styling and to be, diving in deep into the extreme of a martial art, this is more like diving to extremes of gods and killers. And I guess if you would say Adam would have been, if he would ever fought, that's their rendition of how he would have fought.
The honest God truth is, it's a good thing they pulled Adam out against Zeus for Adam to lose, because I don't think there's another god, save maybe Odin, that could have defeated Adam with his ability.
Yeah, that was... I was still broken. I was actually hoping he would win, because that was such a good fight. Such a good fight. I'm still hoping to pull out Jesus, because I think it'd be funny, just for the memes. Jesus, get to the ground. Like, we gotta kill somebody? Okay, so that is actually just the hour right there. So let's see. Kogan Asher was a good one too. Yeah, definitely just checking out Aki. I forget what the live action show is called, but I have it in a minute. I got a couple of shows that I want to watch with my wife. I forget what it's called, but it's really cute slice of life. Me and my wife watched this morning. Thanks to certain somebody in the chat for giving me Crunchyroll, because there's also another show called Buddy Daddies, I think it's called Buddy Daddies. They didn't even have a manga release of the show, and they just releasing. This is like the first. I don't know. You know many animes out there that never had a manga, but they just went straight to TV show?
I don't know. I honestly can't answer that question right now. I might, but if I do, I don't remember it right now.
Yeah, this is like the first time. Like, there is no manga of this show. I'm like, wait. They just went straight to TV show? Okay, because I kind of if the show stops and it doesn't keep it going, I just go read the manga. That's normally how I do it. Or if I like the show so much, I'll go and support it by merch and manga and then read it myself because there's always things they take out of it. And this is a show with no manga in it. I'm like, whoa, this is weird. So, have you heard of it before? Buddy Daddies. It's about two assassins, or not really assassins, like bounty hunter assassin kind of people. One's a person that's a contractor, the other one that actually does killing, and they get a girl that was they killed a bounty, which was a mafia guy, and this was the mafia guy's illegitimate child, and then they started taking the child as a as their own child themselves, and they protect the kid. So
for that. Who? That music in the background, if it's copyrighted.
Wait, are you still doing a podcast?
Yes.
Yes, don't.
Yeah.
Good job. I didn't hear it, but yeah, good thing you pointed it out because I didn't hear shit. But yeah, good thing.
Why do you think you take the little one out?
Anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you for coming today. Leave down in the comments down below. Be sure to the like button and share it to all your friends. Get your thoughts. As always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all.